Last time I showed how we took apart a 2-stroke petrol engine and replaced the crankshaft with a straight shaft so we could drive that with an electric motor. And then we left out every part of the engine that wasn't needed. Now, many people told me I shouldn't have wrecked the original engine. So I'll say it again, we haven't wrecked the original engine at all. It could all go back together just as it was. It's in a cardboard box, perfectly safe, every piece of it. I just used this machine to figure out how to convert other petrol engine machines. That's all. And now it's converted. I'm testing it out, okay? One thing to remember though is that the new shaft needs oiling. I mean, the bearings holding the shaft need oiling. The original setup was oiled by the fuel, but that's not happening anymore. So the plan is to put an inch of oil in the bottom of the crankcase and splash it everywhere using a couple of zip ties attached to the shaft. Very simple. I hope it works.
Yeah.
Then Ashley worked on the electrics, including somewhere for the new speed control to sit.
Go for it. Nobody will ever see it.
And I worked on a mount for the battery. Now it's a heavy battery, big heavy battery. So I used 4mm steel. I cut some slots to make it easier to bend into shape. And I was able to use the homemade bender to bend the longest fold. The shorter ones could be done in the vise. As I've said, Vevor gave me the motor for this project. Brilliant. Thanks so much to them. There's a link in the description which will give you a discount if you want one of these things too. Now, unfortunately, Vevor don't do the batteries that you need for the motor, which is a shame because they're not cheap. Actually, they're very expensive. This one cost €400 and came all the way from China very slowly. It did come with an internal regulator and the right charger though, which is really important because of course all the components need to be compatible or smoke will start coming out of them somewhere or everywhere, maybe, and you don't want that. But you just need to check the specs carefully before ordering. The motor came with a big tangle of switches and wires connected to it, as well as the rectangular controller box. But luckily, you don't need to understand what they all do, because I don't. Some of them won't be used at all. They are just to give you extra options when you put it together. So this all looks complicated, but just connect the battery and the speed controller and use the switches that are already wired up. But that still leaves the big tangle of wires that shouldn't be left dangling about, obviously. I was going to make a metal box to put them all in, tidily, and then I thought I could maybe 3D print something even neater. But in the end, I found something just as effective and a lot easier. Just some 4-inch sewer pipe, very strong. As long as you like, and easily cut up and attached. And it's as neat as I'm likely to achieve with anything else that I made. I was going to put a cover on the ends of the pipe, but apparently the controller box can overheat if it's not ventilated properly, so I left both ends open. I'm not planning on mowing in the rain too much anyway. The good weather lasted 2.5 days, which was just enough time to get the mower up and running and test it out. I gave the teeth a quick sharpen. I'm still waiting for the proper chain links to turn up, so I just bent a bolt over for now. And set off to find the lawn stroke paddock in front of our house. Now, believe it or not, we have played croquet on this lawn, but that was a long time ago now. Ooh. These days it's about trying to knock back the docks and the nettles so the sheep have something to eat. And it's been so wet, we even have rushes growing on it this year. No bother at all though for the mower. Here's a sucker from the plum tree about the size of my finger. Back in September, I made a little pile of brush and old fencing, expecting to make a bonfire of it at some point through the winter, but 6 months have gone by and it's never had a chance to dry out, so it's still there. And it's too late to burn it now anyway, because it's nesting season, obviously, so I have to go around it. I suppose I'll have to move it sometime, but when? And it is being well used. So far so good. Now for a proper field test. Proper rushes. Here's Ashley remembering how to use this mower and steering an interesting course around the field.
Perfect. What do you think?
Yeah, it works well. Hard to keep it even.
You had to keep it on full, don't you? Full throttle.
So, yeah. Nice being able to slow down going around the corners though.
It would be nice if they weren't so linked, the throttle and the and field speed. But on the whole, look, and that's still working. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love it.
Now, some people didn't think that the conversion could possibly cope with heavy work and this heavy machine. But there seems to be plenty of power. And actually, there's more power in the motor that we're not even using, because this mower has a fixed gearing ratio between the cutter blades and the wheels. So you can't vary the speed of one without affecting the speed of the other. So I could choose the fastest speed option on the motor, but that would mean me jogging along to keep up, which I'm not going to do. But even at this medium speed setting, we cut everything we came across in the field. So this motor is easily strong enough for this job, and I wonder what else it could power. Can't wait to find out. Now, quite a few people have suggested converting the mower to run on the railway directly, which obviously would be a good thing. But it wouldn't be a simple thing, because the rails are 15 inches apart and the wheels are more like 17 inches. And of course they have flanges on both sides of the rim, so they get stuck in the junctions, and you need to take the tyres on and off whenever you change uses, which is also not easy with these big, heavy, chunky tyres.
Shame. It is so close.
Oh well, but I can still use the mower next to the rails, which is still good. Now then, one last test. What does Sandra think of it?
Okay, you ready?
Yes, I hope so. I hope it's not pulling me away, because I'm not that strong.
You're very strong, but look, we'll just try it, okay? Okay, so you want to switch that little switch first. Good. And this,
On now.
when you move that, it'll. Whoop, there you go.
Sorry, Trudy, better keep out of the way, because I'm a learner.
Come on, dogs.
It's the wrong way now. Trudy,
Too close. They're too close. Yeah.
behind me. Okay? Okay, guys? Yeah, go off.
Sandra wouldn't even try this machine when it had the petrol engine driving it. It was just too noisy and wobbly. Seriously wobbly, actually. So this is very brave of her because it's still a very heavy and cumbersome machine.
Sorry,
What do you think?
finger slipped. Yeah. Yeah, it probably just pulled me down hills if I went downhill with its weight.
Yes.
I'm not going down hills, I'm just cutting that lump of rushes over there. Okay?
Okay.
Right.
And anytime you let go of the knob, it'll stop.
And you'll notice that the weather is slowly returning to normal. Oh well.
You remember the cartoon animation film, The Wrong Trousers?
Yeah.
Feels a bit like that. Ah! Who's in charge? I think the machine is in charge.
Yeah. It's quite effective, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but well done for fixing it.
Yeah.
And yes, do it.